I have that little image of, God and Carol having this, God's going like this. And I know full well that it's not going to be about changing my hairstyle. I know it's going to be full well about going to the edge of grace. And God saying, just come, I'm already waiting for you there. So I think that's a little test case for me. The humility is that we don't do the transformation. God's doing it. But I would dare say, sisters and brothers in this room, do you think we're in a time of change only? I mean, really? We don't have, how many people have more members than they don't know what to do with? No. Do you think it's because you had really inadequate vocation people? No, there's some groups that think that, Why do you think we don't have younger members? Why do you think all this is going on? These are the signs. These are the signs. Because if we still had 1,000 people, we wouldn't be having this conversation, would we? Okay. So I don't know if that helps. So great questions. Thank you.
I too would like to pick up on the question, where does the spark begin? And my memory isn't as good as it used to be, but I'm remembering Ben Okri in that wonderful long poem. It's called Mental Fight. You remake the world by remaking yourself. So there's an awful lot of, sorry for such words, the challenge to dig deep within me as person, to me, is one of the biggest challenges of life. I mentioned it in another way with Paulo Coelho talking about you dig where your treasure is to find even more treasure. We're trained, most of us, in spirituality. We've had the theology. We know the various spiritualities from the different traditions. Have I kept it just for myself? I want to link that with when we gather together. I'm conscious that this is like Bursa's gathering, and in my organisation now, we've gatherings for those who go out and preach and collect money for the missions, and they're saying to me, but we need to be with the leaders. Go to other meetings, they say, oh, but we need to have the leaders here. When will we bring it all together? So I spent 20-something years of my life facilitating chapters and assemblies. I've done 26 international chapters in my lifetime, from one end of the world to the other. And I'm very happy I'm not doing it anymore. Dare I say, are they a total waste of time and money and travel? And I'm serious, I'm asking myself. But that's not the answer. Just saying that negative is not the answer. But I'm saying, can we look afresh at our assemblies, at our gatherings? I wouldn't even say our community meetings. Because some of what communities do not want to gather around is a total and complete waste of time. And some communities should not dare use that title. And I'm talking from years of experience. People don't talk together, so how could they possibly pray together? So I think the sooner, that to me is the stuff of letting go. We were both talking, we share interest, we've read the same book called The Cultural Creatives, where Elizabeth Sahtouris describes that butterfly, that caterpillar to butterfly story. And my memory of it is where she says, the caterpillar, as it dissolves, becomes a soupy mess. We're in a soupy mess. But it's only in the soupy mess that the cell of the new begins. And when it tries first time, it fails, and then it tries again, and it fails, and it tries again, and it's failed. But when the cells come together, then the backbone of the butterfly is formed. So while I've to do my own work, we've a lot to do together. So my final point, I think, we've a lot to do together. And I'm thinking here, Mark Hederman tonight is speaking in whatever that alley is called inside in Dublin. And he's saying, if you saw it on your phones last night, He's talking about consecrated life and asking, are the vows of consecrated life putting a manhole over a sewer? That's his topic tonight. Now, I have a memory of my late mother, more than my late father, Lord rest them, saying, will you watch your language? I think we need to watch the language we're using and not let the media dictate the language we're using. So when we talk about the business or the mission and charism, are we speaking in a language they do not understand, as we sing in the song? Or can we watch each other's language and speak the joy and the hope that Carol talks about? Or is it the long faces and the longer agendas? So I encourage us to read the scriptures. I encourage us to read what is inspiring as well as the newspapers. And I encourage you, as well as myself, to write good news stories that can be printed. I was here, as several others in the room were, I was in this room last Saturday at the AGM of Vocations Ireland. And young people were talking to us. And they've just completed a piece of very good commissioned research, Vocations Ireland. And in their questioning of various groups about religious life, the main query was, we don't know them and we'd love to know more. There's a challenge. You'll be getting a copy of these. So I'm trying to see where are the fora where we collectively can come together, watch our language, speak with hope and joy and love, and step we gaily on we go, heel for heel and toe for toe.
So that's an invitation to continue the stories. Just for now, if we take one more line for this third story, don't like giving Paddy the last word, but he gets the last line.
One mic is enough for me, thanks guys. Hate to change the mood. My spiritual director the other day gave me Deuteronomy 32:11 to reflect on. And thanks ladies for scaring the absolute life out of me following that reflection. You can look up Deuteronomy 32:11 and see what I'm talking about. I'm struggling here, to be honest, a wee bit, where we've gone a little bit with it. I'm from an apostolic congregation, Salesians. I live in a missionary-based community because the guys that I now live with are internationals. They've come on mission to Ireland. What they're looking for to gain, to be, is almost something that's a very old story. It's an extremely old story with extremely deep values, core intimacies, relationships. They want to see prayer. They want to see community life. They want to see the vows. They want to see Jesus, all of this. Yes, it could be expressed in a new way. But I suspect Vocations Ireland will say something similar. Yes, there is something new. There's something transforming happening. My gut feeling is that transformation is what we have done to the old values and the old story and the real story. But I could be all wrong here, but that's just my sense.
Thank you. And thank you for sharing colourfully the sense of fear. We do know, I've heard it said, that it's extremely difficult to have a conversation with caterpillars about butterflies. The appropriate response is fear, discomfort, being uncomfortable with where it takes us. And the invitation is to continue those stories. But as we conclude this part of our third conversation, could I invite you for a moment again in quiet to wonder, What will you do a little bit differently as a result of these stories this morning? Whatever it is, you go out and do it yesterday. Could I, on your behalf, just offer once again a very heartfelt word of thanks to Liz and to Carol for taking us on the journey this morning.